Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion. Today we're just outside the south gate of Bree, as you can see on the map there, and we're going to be doing the introduction to the skirmishes, which we haven't done since we hit level 20. But once you hit level 20 you should get a mail from the skirmish captain, which gives you this item here, and you can just right click that to give yourself a quest, like so. Talk to any skirmish captain within a skirmish camp, so you need to find one of these. So in Breeland it's just south of the South Bree Gate. In the other starter areas, assuming that's where you are, the one in the Shire is up here where those blue barter icons are, in Brock and Borings. The one in Ered Luin is just outside Forin's Hall, at the top of the stairs there. I think those three will probably be the ones where you're going to be at, so I'll just say those ones, but there's usually one skirmish camp in each region. There's one or two exceptions to that, but it's a good rule of thumb. So we need to find the skirmish captain, so he'll be in here somewhere. One of these guys, there he is. Harry Twiggins. So we speak to him.
How can I be of service?
He says,
Could
thanks
I
for reporting
speak with
in.
you a moment?
And then we get the first tutorial, and we get some nice bits and pieces out of that. So let's take that. And travel.
While war raged in the south and the rangers of the north were absent, brigands and ruffians took an opportunity to wrest control of Bree.
So yeah, this transports us. We're technically in the future, somewhat further in the timeline, when everyone else is kind of in the south, and Bree's in middle of winter. I'm going to change my volume settings around a little bit, because that's quite loud music. There we go, so we need to speak to him. He's going to start rambling about stuff. The Great War is beginning, and the battles to be fought will be great and perilous.
What will be great and perilous?
Hey, voice yourself, though.
You will not survive. Fortunately, there are soldiers of the free peoples willing to fight by your side. If you call them, they will aid you. Use the horn here. Learn the skill it possesses. Then call forth a soldier to aid you in retaking Bree.
So we can use this crate next to him.
Good. Now use your new skill and call forth a soldier of the free peoples.
So you'll see we get two new skills here. We've got a skill to summon our skirmish soldier, and one to direct them to attack a particular enemy. We can also use this button here to click and summon them.
Very good. Now let me share with you the plan of how you're going to reclaim Bree. Skirmishes against the enemy focus on taking and controlling locations of value and importance around the battlefield. In reclaiming Bree, these locations are the South Gate, the auction house, and Bill Fanny's home, in that order. The gate is well protected, but your soldier will aid you in the battle. If he falls, simply call for another by reusing the skill you learn. If not for my arm, I would be at your side as well. Now go and reclaim Bree.
As you see, we've got a generic man who isn't even any type of class at the moment. So he's probably just going to walk up to people and start punching them. But you'll notice as I turn around, he likes to stand in front of me. Which may mean he aggroes things if I stand a bit too close to them, so you might not want to be facing enemies if you're too close to them. Otherwise he might run in and Leroy everything and probably die. But we can rename our soldier. If we select him like we have there, just left click on him. Right click on his portrait, pet menu, rename soldier, and I've just missed the button. And we're going to call him human shield, which is invalid. Okay. Human shield with no capitals halfway through? No? Let's just call him Leroy. Can't even have Leroy. Come on. This is going to be like naming my character all over again. I can't get a name that's going to work. Meat Shield. There we go. Come on, Meat Shield. Let's see, we've got some baddies over here. I'm going to go kick them in the nuts. I'm just going to be spamming goad, even though it's crap damage, because I'll probably use that for the instances of Balthelion. At some point soon, get the upgraded goad. Useful for tanking. So okay, we've defeated the enemy, and we can now use this flag to take control of this point. It's a bit like capture the flag. So we take that, but is there going to be a counter-attack? No, there's not. There's more baddies, let's just go annoy them. He's aggroed everything. Oh, he's got the sword. He's probably going to die though, because he hasn't got much health. Also probably helped by turning on my stance. Oh, look at that, he survived with 8 health. As you see, that that little star underneath him will change colour. So he starts off green, and then as his health gets lower, it goes into yellow, orange, and then red, and then he's dead. So it's an easy visual indication of how much health some sort of escort NPC or pet has. Also you can see he's got a green flag above his head just to denote he's a skirmish soldier. Just in case you think he might be a player or something. Very bad one he'd have to be. So he's just going to stab the half-orc in the back. There we go. Capture this one. This one's exceptionally easy because this is just a tutorial, so this is not even a full skirmish technically. There we go. Sometimes you get these counter attacks, which you'll hear the horn go, and it will have red text, counter attack has been launched, and then bad things will run at the flag that you've just captured. So it pays to usually just stick around near a flag just to make sure there's no counter attacks when you go fighting something. And he's dead, there he goes. So if he dies, you can just resummon him and get him once we're out of combat. We have a new meat shield. And somehow he managed to spawn inside Sables and he's already fighting the encounter. Or whatever. Well, meat shield number 2 is dead. Turn that on. Completed tutorial offensive encounters. One last thing to do, we've got the boss mob, Drift Laws, General of the Enemy. We're going to kick him in the nuts. Maybe literally if I get a chance. No, he's going to go, no, I get you next time. Capture the flag. Da-da! He's been defeated, and second watcher Heathstraw is magically now able to walk and join us. Now we've done all the hard work.
Good work! The south of Bree is once again free. There is more to do, but it can wait until tomorrow.
Oh, that's okay then. I'll get a good night's sleep. So we can speak to him, finish, travel, and then we're back in Bree. So now we can oh, it tells us to do the Open Instance Finder, which we've seen before. I showed this in a previous video. But you've got all your instances, all your skirmishes in here, but we've only got one skirmish at the moment, which is Defence of the Prancing Pony. So we'll see, our next quest objective is to complete Defence of the Prancing Pony, so we need to select it. We need to choose our level, which will just default to our current level, so that's fine. We can choose a tier 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to do a tier 2. For skirmishes, it just means the mobs generally have more health, they hit a bit harder, they're a bit harder to kill, but screw it. Tier 2, how hard can it possibly be? Probably quite a bit. But yeah, depending on the group size and the tier, and also your level relative to the instance level, you will either get more or less marks. So you see, because I'm doing it on level, on my own, but it's tier 2, just because it's tier 2 instead of tier 1, I'm getting 106 marks, or rewards, instead of 100%. So I get a little bit extra. Whether it's worth the effort, I don't know. We'll soon find out. So we've chosen our options, we've got the instance join up, and we just need to travel now.
The inhabitants of Bree have spent the occupation holed up within the Prancing pony. Angered at their uprising, the brigands have decided to burn them out.
Burn them all. So yeah, this one's a defensive skirmish. We need to defend the Prancing pony, but I'm sure Second Watcher Heathstraw is going to give us some more information.
You will need a stronger ally for this foray. There are many ways soldiers can be trained and outfitted for battle. Archers, warriors, protectors, sages, bannermen, and herbalists are all willing to answer your call. For this battle, a warrior will be to our best advantage. Will? Tom, come out here for a moment. Speak to Will, purchase the warrior role trait, then speak to Tom and complete the soldier's training.
So okay, we speak to Will, train skirmish traits, and he's going to give me the warrior role, and it'll be free because it doesn't cost any marks. So just train that. There we go. I have got extra marks, just ignore that because that's shared across all my characters. So we've learnt the warrior trait. Speak to Tom, who's the skirmish bard. You'll see, like the normal bard, we can trait our skirmish soldier. Just like our normal traits, these slots will be locked until you reach certain levels on your own character. So they will gradually unlock over time, but to start with we have one of each that we can put in there. So the first one you're going to want in an attribute, and this can go in any of the slots once you unlock them, but every skirmish soldier will want a role. So we've got warrior at the minute, so we'll just slot that. I shouldn't have any other ones at the moment. So if I just confirm that, and then he's going to dismiss because he's had his traits changed, so I'll just summon him.
A warrior will increase our offensive capability and allow us to cut through waves of enemies.
So like the character classes, the soldier classes just do different things. So the warrior is kind of like a melee DPS guy. So he's a bit like a champion basically. Possibly has more brains than a champion. It's up for debate. So I shall rename this one Chimp. Hopefully he's not a chomp.
Will, Tom, get back inside. We'll handle this. Prepare yourself, my friend. Their first wave approaches.
So here they come. And you'll see the red text there said the enemy approaches from the west. And that's also in the chat log. And that's because in the Prancing Pony they can attack from the west, so like over here on the mini-map, or they can attack from the south.
I believe we have a moment of respite before their assault continues.
So that was a very easy wave.
The enemy employs a number of terrible lieutenants, specially trained enemies with unique skills. It is difficult to know which lieutenants march with the enemy until they arrive on the battlefield. I caught a glimpse of a large orc with this force. Be prepared, it could come at any time. Here they come again. To arms!
To arms! And they're approaching from the south. So here they are. So you see these lieutenants of the enemy, they will have like an orange glowy thing above their heads, just so you know that there is one about. So that one is a protector of the vial. Which I can't really think what he does.
I believe we have a moment of respite before their assault continues.
Chimp took him out on tier 2, so it can't be that hard. Speak to him again.
As you encounter and defeat more lieutenants, you will learn more about how they affect the battlefield. And what you can do to expose and exploit their individual weaknesses. They all have at least one. I believe we are nearing the end of this battle. Defeat this assault and Bree will be free once more. Here they come!
But yeah, there's quite a few lieutenants. They all do different things. Some are very dangerous, some are just plain annoying and not much threat at all. Some things you want to take out before you take out the trash mobs, some things you want to leave till last. And here comes the boss. It's you again. You're running with a bit of lag. Am I losing connection or something? Yeah. Oh, hey, Chimp's dead. Right, I might actually be in a bit of trouble now. Oh, come on, this is not fair. I can't play with... Oh, there we go, yeah, defensive mode would help. Should take out the boss, fine. Kick in the nuts! Yes, crunch shot! I made him run away. Both running.
They have been vanquished!
Hooray!
Near the major locations of Middle-earth, you will find skirmish camps. Bree, Rivendell, and Thorin's Hall, to name a few.
There you can barter your skirmish marks for new and better soldier traits and gear and equipment for yourself.
Safe travels, my friend. Perhaps we will meet again in another skirmish against the enemy. For now, I salute your courage.
And that's the end of the tutorials. So we'll just go back to the skirmish camp.
What do you need?
We can choose what we want our guy to be. Now, bear in mind, we have technically learnt a warrior, but if we choose the warrior instructions, we kind of get a warrior starter kit, essentially. So each of these will kind of give you a starter kit for each of those, which is a bit more than just the training for a particular one. So I'm going to choose warrior, because I pretty much run with a warrior on all my classes. Just because they're quite handy. They're kind of AoE, so they hit multiple things, they do damage to multiple things, they annoy multiple things, and just keep aggro and kind of tank stuff unless I want to hit it and be tanking it myself. I think the only two exceptions for classes that I don't use the warrior on are my captain, which uses an archer, just because he's always had an archer, because the captain's a bit rubbish for ranged DPS. Plus it's really cool having an archer herald and a archer soldier, and they're just both shooting bows over your shoulders while you're killing something. And the other exception is the champion, because rather than having a champion soldier to go with a champion, I have a healer on my champion and he just smushes stuff. Yeah, we'll choose a warrior, which is going to give me all these bits and pieces. So if I manage the traits on the skirmish captain, you will now see I've got other bits and pieces as well. So I've got carving strike, which is low melee, medium bleed. So low melee damage but of medium strength bleed, which is not too bad. And warrior learns a quick sweep that strikes all nearby foes. So it does low damage, but it hits everyone nearby. So let's stick that in. Sweeps AoE, so let's put that in. Training, what has he got? He's got medium armor training, gives him some more armor. I think he could use the armor more than anything, because he's dying quite easy. And armored assault, which will give me a bit of stuff. So basically, attributes change the role of your soldier and what they look like, because you can give them different clothing and stuff. Skills affects what 4 skills they have, besides basic attacks. Training increases their abilities in some way. So we've got 4 different things we can improve their their stats and stuff like that. And then personal is free stats you can kind of give your soldier to buff yourself with. So that 57 armor value is on me, not on my soldier. So you can basically get your soldiers to buff you in nice ways, which can be quite handy. So I'll just confirm those trait changes, which will cost me a bit of silver. If I wanted,
Greetings.
to be honest, I might as well. I can speak to the trainer here. I'd either buy more rolls or, you know, just train any of these things, and I can just toggle that only display earn traits on, so it will only show ones I've bought, which makes it a bit easier to find the ones you want to upgrade, or the ones you should upgrade if there's no point upgrading something else. But these are grouped by like your warrior, for example, so you don't accidentally level up a herbalist skill if you're using a warrior soldier. But I put in quick sweep, so let's upgrade this a little bit. So yeah, you will notice on the tooltips that these will have associated levels, so that's level 37. He can still use it even though I'm not level 37, he's not level 37, but you kind of want to keep that on par with your level, just to kind of keep it appropriate level strength for when you're hitting the enemy. So if you're level 37 and your soldier's using a skill that's at level 10 or something, it's probably going to do next to no damage. It does get more expensive to buy stuff that's higher than your level, and it's cheaper to buy stuff that is lower than your level, so it pays to not get too far ahead and just buy it when you need it in the long run. That's pretty much that. I think Control K, yep, is the shortcut key for the skirmish panel, or you will now be able to go Control K there on the skirmish by the menu button if you don't like the shortcuts. So you can see your lifetime stats for things you've done there, or specific skirmish stats, how many marks you've got at the moment, and you can see your traits and what you've got, all the bits and pieces, without having to visit the bards and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it for the skirmish tutorial. I think we'll stop there, and next episode maybe do some proper skirmishes. So see you then.